10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to ban. 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Dyer's turn to ban. Dyer's turn to Radiant's turn to pick.
Bristleback!
10 seconds. 5 seconds left. It's Dyer's ban now.
Naga Siren.
10 seconds. 5 seconds left. It's Dyer's ban now. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. It's Radiant's ban now. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant pick. Dire pick.
I speak for the trees.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dyer's turn to pick.
Stare your death in the face.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Giant Protector.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant pick. Dyer's turn.
Brewmaster!
Sky Wrath Mage.
Dyer's turn to ban.
Luna.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dyer's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dyer pick. Radiant's turn to pick.
What's it with?
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left.
Earthspan.
Choose your hero. Wait, you only get one?
Adiós, payasos.
Goodness. Phenomenal.
我
Phenomenal.
哪里猜了呀？不
Phenomenal
要睁着眼睛乱说好吗？
OK，兄弟们，全体目光向。OK，兄弟们，全体目光向我看齐啊！
Muzykальная пауза. Вау-вау-вау-вау-вау-вау-вау.
Welcome back to the war. Is it everything you remember? 30 seconds to showtime. Oh, I see lots of good digging spots out there. What are we waiting for? Pay attention now. The battle started.
Hello, I'm Gabe Newell. You've just achieved first blood. Thanks and have fun.
Payasos. Much more blood. To your head.
OK，兄弟们，全体目光向我看齐啊！
Le comparte uno, pero ya se había comido otro tango y ahora es Ari quien se enfrenta a Jamson. Se entra igual, perfecto. Para poder denegar el campamento, lo va a hacer también la escuadra de TSM. Cuidado con eso, Ari continúa con el asedio, aprieta.
Radiant's courier is dead. I wonder what idiot got it.
Yes. This is more than no
Please.
seeds of fortune.
My behavior score.
This is mine.
Resuelve problemas de colocar en el techo a Despro para marcar distancia, pero llega Kansane. Cuidado nuevamente, utilizando el Mirror Image, pero las copias van a venir demasiado rápido. ¡Wow!
Inside their minds, but theoretically, since you love theory and whatnot, so
I love my
hours on end about absolutely nothing.
good
Usually
theory,
calling it theory craft, or just sitting here listening to you. But do you think that benefits either team as Bryle just barely lives?
Well, to give you a short answer, I do think the team that just won is happy with winning, yes. That is good for them.
You know, I'm surprised you kept it so brief. Yeah, really appreciate that for everybody in the audience.
It's just a theory, though. They might be unhappy with their victory.
I figured you could
never
going.
really.
Yeah, no big surprise.
I do.
Bryle in the mid lane. We can see the CS is relatively close between the likes of him and Gunnar. I mean, would you say
Penta nice though?
That's true. Would you say that this favors one hero or the other?
I mean, my gut says that this is a slightly Earthspirit favored lane, but not like by a mile. So I actually think this result is maybe a little bit better than what you can expect, especially on the deny front from Gunnar.
K1 skating to get harassed.
Yeah, so this was interesting in the draft, right? This was an instant counter pick to the Bristleback in the first phase. They grabbed their Naga, so they were anticipating this was going to get banned. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because K1 has like a subset of heroes that I always love watching this guy at TI because he has a subset of heroes that he just really made a name for himself on. Naga is one of them. We've seen his PL in the past, Chaos Knight. He popped off the other day on that one against Tundra. When you pick Naga this early, I feel like the hero is very exploitable. And in this game, he's got 11 CS minutes 6.
Yep,
not the Bristleback's 34, and this was your counter pick to the Bristle. I mean, better make it worth it at some point.
Now this top lane, Ancient Seals there, move with the Thunderclap. Yamsen makes his way over as well. It's an easy pickup, and now Tomato is the one that they're trying to take down. He takes out the Courier in due time. Sprout does not keep him in for too long. Is already showing up now to force the rest of the nouns back.
Yamsen taking some pot shots here, but probably going to get out of there.
Custom shot moving slow. One more Sprout for good measure as Yamsen limps away.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's putting the hurt on Radiant's middle.
Looks like Bryle's going to be able to get a nice juicy regen, but he can take a Magnetize for his efforts. The level advantage you see is going to Gunnar thanks to those denies. TP from Whitemon is here. It's a 1 versus 2. Turning around onto Gunnar. Looks like it's their kill for the taking. And Bryle will get credit for it. Nice turnaround there from TSM.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised there by this attempt even from Gunnar. Like, yeah, maybe this is... You could probably accomplish this kill if you have like 15 seconds of 1v1 there because Bryle isn't level 6 yet and you are, but any TP stops that kill and you're at risk of dying. You had no mana left, your stick was empty, your bottle was empty. Just honestly a little bit of an overextension there, and that's really good news for Bryle. We were talking about he's a little bit behind in experience. Now he's going to be leading the charge here against Gunnar.
Radiant's top tower's under attack.
Get closer to that Diffusal the panel was talking about. I mean, this is... If Diffusal Blade was magically removed tomorrow, I think this hero would barely be played by anyone. Like, that is just the build right now. And in a game like this, you always look at, okay, how important is the mana burn? It's amazing against specific heroes in this game.
Oh, nice dead shot. Another silence.
Oh, he got 6.
Calling move, hit 6. There is the primal split. Can they find anyone? Looks like Whitemon might take the stun here, as Lelis is there as well, try to finish him off. Looks like that'll be an easy cleanup, but can they get Ari as well as Yamsen trying to keep him in place? And move to gets the Thunderclap onto absolutely nothing, but Ari's still falling. He had too much damage over time. But Brock coming in with his Rolling Thunder, trying to connect on the move. Nice sidestep is there. Might have to focus on the position. 5 Nature's Prophet instead, but Lelis is there waiting. Gets up the instant Ancient Seal, and now Moo in the vicinity. Thunderclap ready to go very shortly. Whitemon and Tomato there are here in numbers. TSM looks like they kind of want to fight, but now Whitemon taking the brunt of the damage from that Magnetize from Gunnar.
One of my distractions
be the end of it. Diving here for Gunner is really difficult, going in blind.
Bottle refill for Bryle now.
A lot of heroes showing up to this move, obviously. The big winners, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, are the ones that didn't. So both Kasane as well as K1 are finding some much needed farm down bottom, especially the Naga. Starting to get a little bit of recovery going here. Kasane is gonna, it's just already settled. This Bristle's gonna have an amazing game.
Trying to dodge the calling, can't do it. Because it does slow as well inside there, so very difficult. But he
Radiant
will
are
still live.
scanning. How does that even work?
Nice timing on that whole fight for him, right? It looked premeditated that they were expecting him to hit level 6 at that exact point in time, so they were kind of baiting a fight out. And he ends up tanking like 800 damage worth of spells and then using his ult, so obviously that means all of those spells not being used on another hero in the fight, and that did allow nouns to get themselves a pretty good exchange. But as a matter of fact, despite being up 4-1 on the kills, they're still 1k down on the net worth, and that is really the majority of this discrepancy is found in that bottom lane. Kasane with 4,300 net worth to the only 3k of the Naga on K1. The panel we're talking about, they've counterpicked this Naga quite well, right? You've got the Pango, you've got the Bristle back with the Aghanims. If Naga on top of all of that is also not being farmed, the way nouns win a lot of their games is because K1 pops off, right?
Yep.
And I don't know how likely that is with the current lookout here, so gotta see if they can somehow bring him into the game a bit later on. Obviously Naga just likes chilling for the first 20 minutes, whether she's having a good or a bad game. You kind of play the hero the same way.
That's better than it used to be. It used to be 40 minutes.
True.
And sometimes it was never, you never got involved, and you just won the game just by existing. We've seen that from time to time, but things have certainly changed. Like you said, TSM with a slight lead in terms of net worth right now. And the Bristle being the main recipient of that differential. We'll be going for the Aghanim Scepter, of course. Already an Ogre Club on the way. One of my favorite Ags in the game, actually, Cinder. I know you're not a huge fan, but I actually love this one.
We have different tastes.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what Dota's all about.
Initially slow, he needs his primal split. And Whitemon might be the main one to go down here, but they get the lift on the Tomato. Gunner's there as well. Now able to connect on the rolling boulder, though. And Bryle coming in as well. Looks like Ansem might be there, but a nice lift at the last moment onto the Pangolier. They will take out Luna. So it's a 2-for-1. All they've lost was support in the Nature's Prophet. Gunner continuing on. Magnetite just continuing over and over. Double kill for Gunner. Now Kasane has shown up to play level 9, trying to block out Gunner, but he gets
he's out of
baby.
space.
Continuing with these quill sprays. Gets off to the other side, to the high ground. The quill sprays are in range, though, as Kasane secures a double kill. A lot of deaths on both respective sides.
Yeah, I feel like this doesn't happen very often anymore, but Bertzford ran out of stones relatively quickly in that fight. If he has one more stone there, Gunner is going to survive, but couldn't get the distance anymore without that. Yeah, despite losing Tomato relatively early on there, TSM still end up getting themselves a decent fight with Kasane showing up and really putting that net worth to good use. So he's going to grab his level 10, 11 minutes in. Great look for him.
So we are casting nouns, which we need to start counting Midases.
Oh, I thought we were going to start counting nouns.
Or that. I mean, Midas is a noun.
Okay.
Right? The move.
It's a proper noun.
Gus purchased his. How many is appropriate this game, Cinder?
Oh, that's a very loaded question.
There's like Gloves of Haste on Gunner, so that looks like it's going to be 2.
Are you sure he's not going Armlet?
Yes, because he shows Midas in his quick buy there.
Change his mind. Armlet or Spirit?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
for new thing.
what's the appropriate amount? Probably no more than 2, so I'm happy it's not more than 2.
Well, Lelis has not. I mean, sometimes he gets a 40-minute Midas, so we'll see how the game goes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Midas Skywrath. Let me tell you, it's not really good value.
Now, once he gets that shard, he's going to get the attack speed of Midas. Pretty damn powerful if you ask me, Cinder.
This is a quite odd ancient farming team.
Yeah, but Gunner does the important thing. He kicks his teammate away so that he can secure most of the farm.
And he has a blade mail, which he used to farm it with, and he had the children. So, actually a kind of nice play here for Nouns to identify that they can do it with this hero combination because of Shield Rune. Otherwise, Gunner would have lost so much health, he might have almost had to go back to base. Put it to use there. Slowly but surely, K1 is now catching up to the Luna now. In this matchup in general, I would say Luna has a relatively tricky matchup against Naga Siren. Despite having all this spread damage with the glaives, Naga, if having a good game, can just overwhelm you pretty quickly. But given the circumstances, I think Tomato's actually in a pretty good spot here with that 1k lead over the Naga. If both heroes are just left to free farm entirely, I think they probably stay roughly hand in hand in terms of just raw farm efficiency.
Ari is spotted. Gonna get silenced and rolled on, and there's the Mystic Flare. Delete. Goodbye. Gunnar gets credit for that one, as yeah, his Midas is very shortly will be in his inventory pile. Speaking of which, we'll have his defusal on the way now. That's a big power spike from Tango, as he brought up. I mean, the one good thing about, I mean, obviously we're not going to talk about Midas anymore, but we will. The levels you get from it are actually extremely good on a hero like Disaster. Like that Primal Split just gets insane once you get to level 3.
And Brewmaster, it's also about what you want on this hero is to not only be your ult, right? Like the problem is when you have that natural downtime, it's really nice to have Midas just for the farm efficiency, right? So not only the experience of getting to the higher levels of ult, but also being
cancel. Doesn't have his actual teleport for another 40 seconds, so that'll be a freebie for Tomato, but
more than happy with that though.
Yeah.
Got the rune. This is well worth dying for position 5 Mage's Pro.
Indeed. Sonic forcing move back. He does have his primal split. Not going to expend it quite yet. I think he's going to chase any further anyway. As Radiance looks to be what's in Moo's sight right now. You can see the Aghanim already online for Kasane.
Eyeing up the Bloodstone in the guard, no surprise.
The one thing that we're going to have to hold your horses on, since we might actually have a fight here, is K1 is taking out some Ancients, but there's a smoke from TSM, Rolling Thunder from Raleigh. Know that K1's in the area, gets silenced, and the Rolling Thunder should be enough with the right
and they stole the stack to Kasane. Got it with that Bristleback Axe usage, so very nice. Probably going to turn into a mid-tier 1 as well here for TSM. I don't think there's any hope of defending this one, but maybe Gunner's going to try to roll away. He's going to show us.
He's gone.
Yeah. Goner.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh boy.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yamson getting some nice reward action here, but Tomato.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, the dead shot does hit. He's still running the opposite direction. Lucid Beam is there. Another kill. Actually, you can see Eclipse.
He's about sending a message.
He's just sick and tired of not hitting that R button.
It's about to be
He's
radiant.
got to have it at some point.
Gunner is testing the limits here. He does have a Skywrath on backup, so potentially there is a kill here if they line up their spells, but Tomato wisely pulling off here to the right. Bombs it up and gets out of there.
One good thing about having hero like Bristleback is, I know it's only 16 minutes, but it's always on my mind, Torment Time. It's a hero that can solo it extremely quickly. You don't need to worry about heroes coming in across the map and losing efficiency. It's Kasane. Find the chase move, he's gonna get dead shot, but still running the opposite direction. He'll be fine.
Yeah, and Mo has to be a little bit careful in this game with his mana management, because if you get caught by his Swashbuckle at the wrong time, you might not be able to get the split off. So he kind of has to make sure he stays on around at least 300 mana when he's playing around the map.
There's airball action from Kasane, so he bought the guard old-fashioned way. There's the dead shot, canceling the TP, and you can see that actually put to good work for Kasane as he destroys Moo. Still does not quite have enough for that sacred relic.
Sometimes you just gotta let the voice line speak for themselves.
Yep.
That's why I immediately said something. Alright, here we go, man!
Oh boy, the Mystic Flare not really gonna connect, but they might still have enough damage. Indeed they do. Down goes Ryle. And Gunnar with that haste rune will likely be able to just walk away. Nice pickoff here for Nouns. Getting some retribution for Moo's death.
Gunnar will be he's 1,000 away from the Reaver here, worth the heart. This is the hero I'm watching right now for Nouns, because I think there's a lot on Gunnar's shoulders. As we've already established, Naga's game isn't particularly great right now, so...
You want some of this, though. The calling scares them away.
Bristleback is not the target you want right now. You don't really have that good ways of dealing with him. Brewmaster didn't get the full vessel, he only got the urn, so you don't have the healing reduction against the inevitable Bloodstone.
But I assume he will end up going for the Spirit Vessel at some point, right?
After the Radiance? I don't know, actually.
Really?
Because the problem is when you get it that late, even if it might on paper sound good against Bloodstone, the enemy team is going to start having dispels, right? There's going to be some sort of Lotus coming out, even on himself.
So how important is Silver Edge this game? As hold that thought, Kasane getting gone on. Well, going on K1 more like it. He just walks away with a casual snare.
Nice little tickle war here, won by Kasane.
Ball, and he's going to use Salt.
He can perfectly out though, because Dead Shot could connect on him at any point. He will run away though. Tomato will kill
Killing
Yamsen.
spree.
Yamsen does die, but is this going to be a turnaround? It looks like it is, as Tomato gets killed on the bottom of the map. Very unfortunate for TSM, but a huge kill for Nouns.
Very good trade for Nouns there. We get the last hit on Lelis, who as a result almost had his core staff. A great item against both Bristleback and the Huerta. You want to help allies get out of the calling as fast as possible. You want to reposition them away from the Bristleback Ags. You can save people from Eclipse. There's a lot of really good value towards that. I would actually like to see them get more than one, to be honest, on their team, but doesn't look like it's on the menu for Yamsen right now. He's eyeing up the Glimmer Cape. Obviously, also a solid item here, but I do think a second force that might actually be straight up better.
Broken number 1 will go the way of TSM, and nobody from Nouns is in sight. Kasane will get the Aegis. Interesting.
I actually thought they were going to put this on Ryle. I feel like Bristleback is borderline invincible right now. I don't really know if you need to be concerned with him dying, especially when he completes the Bloodstone. I don't really see much risk for Kasane the following 5 minutes, but there it is. I guess they just have the mindset that if they put the X or the Aegis on him, he's completely unkillable and he can just siege towers. Either way, they'll probably put it to use immediately to go and contest this Tormentor. You talked about it.
Torment time.
It's Torment time for Kasane. It's going to take a little bit of time to build it up, obviously, with the Hairball and the Quill Stacks, but we'll get there, slowly but steadily.
I think the bigger deal here is that he's stealing it from Nouns, and there he goes. Ari will get a shard, which for a support, maybe not the one you were hoping for. Although, yeah, Tree already has his, I believe, so it would have been between him and the Pango, which the Pango one's quite good.
Yeah, I think they would rather have the Penguin. The shard on Huerta is kind of a weird one if you're playing support.
Tomato already has his shard.
Yeah.
Man, this man loves his. I mean, this is one of the few people that buys Glacier on Drow, for God's sake.
He's one of the few people playing Drow to begin with.
That's true. Really hoping for it here today, but that's going to be the Luna.
Hey, Gunner.
My Gunner gets off the Magnetize with that Raider with so much damage. That's going to he has that Aegis onto the Luna. He's dead. Now, you can see the Bristleback inside the calling, but Browse can be chased right now with the Primal Split up, but there's the Overgrowth. Nice spell coming out from Moo, instantly getting rid of that. And now Whitemon completely surrounded. Kasane really love it again. He has the Aegis, but fight number 1. The roll in with the Mystic Flare is enough to take out Ari by using that ult. Not going to help me too much. And can they kill the big bad Bristleback with that Bloodstone? Completely surrounded now. Pops it. Yeah, that's the wrong direction, my friend. A huge team fight win for Nouns as they clean up nicely.
Yeah, like you said, it's just really dangerous to not have the Aegis on the Luna. She's frontlining and hitting the tower. I thought this was what they were going to do with their Bristleback, but I mean, obviously with this build, you're not very fast at taking towers, so at the end of the day,
I thought when they were going for Roche, I think Tomato had just died and he was bot lane, so I don't think he could have gotten there anyway.
Right, but then I think this push is just ill-advised in general then, right? You don't have a clear save for your Luna. She's exposing herself by hitting the tower. And you've got to keep in mind, you're playing against one of the longest range initiators in all of Dota. The Earth Spirit can just roll at you from any angle. You won't necessarily have vision. You don't have time to react. So they got no value out of their carry whatsoever. They got a very clean engage there with the Brewmaster as well. So just excellent fight from Nouns. Worth about 6,000 gold that team fight. As TSM were approaching it with a lead. Now things are going to slow down quite a bit. We saw the thing there as well that the panel was talking about. Well, it's cool that you have this tanky Bristle. What if you just get Cyclone for 16 seconds, you know? Yeah. Mood just took him out of the fight forever while they cleared up the rest of the team.
But it's Torment time again.
Oh, yeah.
Sonic, who's getting it this time? Talk about Luna already having hers. Is it just Pango that's left? I think it's guaranteed at this point.
I think Pango, you're right. He got it.
Wow. 100% chance.
Who do you think is getting the next one?
The other team. That would be funny. If you have your shards all done, it goes to the other team. You're punished. The tormentor actually could be the next buff for
truly are one of the game devs of all time. That is a great idea.
Nice little twist, you know. I mean, people are already dying to it anyway. Might as well make it feel even worse.
This is your idea of rubber band mechanics.
Yeah.
You just grieve the winning team. You must be punished for being ahead.
That's right.
All right.
Sonic gonna be going through the twin gate. He's gonna not be spotted actually. As Lelis is there. Level 13 right now. Has his 4-staff. Philly Stone in tow.
Important development, by the way. K1 is now top network in the game.
Oh, that is quite the...
Ever so quietly, he has been farming up a storm. 315 CS, minute 23 on that Naga. Heart is completed. So Heart Diffusal Manta is starting to look like a really big threat in the fights. Now you're reaching that point of critical mass where Bristleback alone can't really deal with you. And considering these 3 deaths on Tomato have really slowed him down, I actually think K1 is arguably just the strongest hero on the map right now on this Naga. So I'm very curious to see how nouns put this to use.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Again, if I had to pick a Naga player to have on my team, this is definitely on the short list in the world. So K1 knows very well what to do with that farm that he... Excellent.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Go for my top.
Dire.
They can find Moo. It's probably their best potential catch here, as Naga is already inside her own base and Earth Spirit is off in the middle of nowhere.
Lelis would tank the game here. Would be nice for Nouns' perspective at least. And like that's going to be very likely that's going to happen here. Easy pick off, and you can see Moo just keeping away.
That is a great result for Nouns. Losing
Train
one
the smoke
there.
for your support.
Yeah, smoke for support, and you use the Rolling Thunder, so for the next 80 seconds, the playmaking potential of Ryle is very limited. It offers some additional safety around the map for Nouns as heroes to just keep farming. I think, once again, Naga in this game is not really under that much pressure as long as Pango doesn't have ult, and obviously the Ags on Ryle is going to be a really big difference maker once he gets there. Currently eyeing up the dagger, he's actually going to opt for that over the Axe, which to me is a little bit surprising. Maybe their mindset is that they're struggling to initiate fights on their terms and they kind of have to get this extra reach, but effectively you're delaying one of your key Naga counters by a good 3 or 4 minutes this way.
I think they're having a real hard time locking down Moo before that primal split comes out.
Yeah, that is true.
And being able to blink, especially with the shard online now, for Brian, allow them to try to set something up, to roll up. Very important to get a couple stuns off in quick succession.
I mean, speaking of this, the shard on Earth Spirit could actually be really good this game, I think. I don't think Gunner's going to buy it, but if they somehow get this moment for just being able to grab allies out of this...
Grab allies?
There you go, yeah, you love that. Being able to pull allies out of the Pango combo.
Very even game, which is kind of what we were expecting coming into this. I mean, regardless of how these teams have done thus far at TI, these we talked about, they've played each other a million times, so I'd be surprised if this was a 2-0 either way. Of course, it's only game 1.
I mean, with that logic, you could say in the previous series that TSM played today, they'd also played Shopify a million times.
That's right.
The second game was not very close.
Was that Shopify? You sure?
Yeah.
All right, just check.
I'm not sure what you're going for here.
Me neither, actually. Waimon opting for a Blink Dagger here relatively shortly. It looks like the minuses are at 2.5. I'm going to count Philly Stone as a half minus.
Okay.
Inside of nouns. Not committing to the third quite yet, but did say 40-minute minuses are a thing with them, so we have 13 minutes to go. That's the limit, I think.
Amazing what you found lying around. Amazing what you found lying around.
Number 2 will know in about 10 seconds when that will spawn. And that, as usual, will be a pretty pivotal one. Feels like the first one's usually just given away in some respects. And the second one is when they start getting tested. Okay, nouns are smoked up. TSM going to the high ground. Tomato's going to break the smoke and move. He sees this. Can't really pursue any further, at least not yet. K1 just ignoring everybody and hitting creeps as he should be.
Gunner might fancy his chances here if they can get the Brewmaster in from the left, but he is obviously still smoked. We saw Boo break the smoke there. And Gunner is looking for an angle. Luna with the night vision though.
That's true.
Don't
See him
look good.
easily.
I mean, at what point do you want to fight with Naga? Are we at that point yet?
I think you're absolutely capable right now of fighting with Naga, but the fact of the matter is you have an amazing split push lineup too. You have Nature's Prophet and Naga, so if the enemy team is congregated in one area, you can just bide your time, push the lanes, and eventually they have to go back and defend, right?
Yeah.
So Yamson already pushed in bottom lane all the way to that tier 2 tower,
Dyer's middle tower
and the
looks to
mid
be
wave is being cut here by K1. And this is going to be really annoying for TSM's lineup to deal with. We actually haven't really talked about this, but their heroes are not particularly mobile with the exception of Pango. Like running around the map with as Bristleback putting out fires feels terrible.
And Ryle is trying to get the stun lock onto Moo. The Eclipse to follow. Do they have the burst? They do. Just that buyback though. Obviously not able to get that primal split up. That is a very big kill for TSM. The BKB already caught by Tomato's K1. Going onto the Bristleback, and there's the buyback onto Moo. Nice connection from Gunner. Onto Tomato. The calling coming through as well. The Gunner's gonna roll on out for the time being. Looks like Nouns want to kind of reset and wait for their Brewmaster to catch up. And TSM now on the run as Ryle might be caught out. Thunderclap is there, and there's the Mystic Flare to finish him off. Now trades essentially a buyback to kill off the mid laner for TSM.
Honestly, really good play call there from Gunner. Even though the Brewmaster's dead, he identifies that Luna used the BKB in that kill.
Kasane is going to get kicked to the low ground. That is a Bristleback, so you have to be careful. There's a lot of damage with that close frame. And that's around it. Has to spear that full finally pops the Bloodstone. Now I'm going to go to the other side of the calling. And TSM getting pursued by K1. He is not a
that's not a good step.
Turn around, spin onto the tree and inside the tree. But you can see the Pango flying back into the game. It looks like the tree and Protector will die to start this fight. As K1 looking to fade Saw, but actually going to turn this around onto Tomato instead. That is a huge kill for now. As K1 with an ensnare onto that Muerta. And that's another easy kill for Nouns as Kasane coming back into the fray. Left all alone, but Brown has the Rolling Thunder up again. Using that Blink Dagger to affect K1 on the back line, but there's the song to keep the Bristleback in place. And Ryle might just have to Rolling Thunder away as they leave their Bristleback to die. So Kasane drops the huge team fight win for now, and that means Roche number 2 is theirs.
Yeah, it's incredible how important it ends up being that Tomato used his BKB on the Brewmaster kill, right? Like, you can understand from his perspective, there's uncertainty about whether Nouns are counterplaying and baiting the Brew there, but he needed that BKB so badly in the fight that followed. He essentially just got jumped on by Gunner, which was what spread out the fight initially and forced TSM back, and then the chasing sequence, Tomato couldn't stand his ground. That's the problem against the Naga matchup. You're not strong enough when Naga has this amount of net worth to really stand your ground, so if you can't use BKB and other heroes, it's just a losing battle. So it's a really big one here for Nouns. They get a lot of kills. They get the Roche Aegis cheese here. Honestly, yeah, I was thinking of putting Aegis on Moo because you're not likely to get burst on the Naga in the same way if you play the hero well and you're splitting the map correctly. Rather put the Aegis on the Brewmaster and he can frontline confidently, and he could give the cheese away. I don't think he needs to have both of them.
Why not?
Put the cheese on Gunner or even put it on K1. He still has a slot available. That he can carry that in if he wants. All coming up Nouns now. I know we've seen quite a lot of games this tournament where late game Bristleback has been a menace as well, but I have my doubts as to how effective the hero is actually going to be here truly late game, just because that Brewmaster and Naga matchup is so good at containing him, right? Just keep netting him, songing, throwing him in the air. Bristle doesn't want to buy maybe, so you kind of just control him all the time, kill the other heroes.
Foreman time for now. Yamson gets his.
Okay, a little bit of a curse of the old growth. Getting some vision in the trees, doing some damage. It's nice for chasing sequences. There's going to be some of those around the top area in particular. There's a lot of trees around that Roshan area, but I think that is likely to transpire anytime soon, considering they literally just killed Roche. Fights are probably not breaking out of there, but they might break out next to the top tier 2 tower, which I think should be next on the menu here for Nouns. wouldn't mind seeing them going for every single tower outside the base right now with the advantage they have. I think fights for TSM are going to be exceptionally difficult to take.
Yeah, with 3.5 minutes on the Aegis, I think that is definitely what they're going to be up to now. One thing we've seen in the games we've cast, at least, is the issue of going high ground. I think maybe the best hero in the game at going high ground is Brewmaster. Especially once you get like that refresher, and it's just, what do you do against?
Especially when you have Ogre in your team as well, as we saw the other day, just bloodlusting the earth element, whatever you want to call it, ruling. Very, very great. Obviously this game not the case, but yeah, nouns are no strangers to sieging with this hero. And I think, I mean, again, once you're constrained in your base as TSM, it's starting to become really difficult. There's going to be Treants pushing, there's going to be Naga Illusions pushing, there's going to be Brewmaster Ultimate pushing. The way you need to organize your heroes to put out fires and effectively try to turn anything into a team fight is going to be very difficult. The Tormentor killed here by Kasane, and I suppose you have influx to his team, but the state of the game definitely is at least 2 waves are going to be outside your base more or less at all times. Even a smoke up coming out here from nouns. They like to work behind themselves to try to gather any information about movements from TSM if they go where they just left.
We talked about the high ground potential for nouns. What about the defensive side from TSM?
I mean, they have some decent spam. Swashbuckle is always super annoying to deal with. I'd say the calling is one of the really strong defensive spells as well. But again, given the itemization that nouns have with the double force staff, they did end up going back for it on Nature Proc, which I'm a very big fan of them doing. I think they could just reset out if they get jumped on.
Gunner, Ari gets off his Shivas. He's gonna roll in there, get the stun off, and a Mystic Flare from a complete screen away. On the side.
Yep. Lettles is close to Axe. Haven't really talked much about his itemization, but he went 4-step Ghost.
Oh wow, he's actually really close.
Yep.
400 away right now. Only a minute and a half left on the Aegis, and only got the 1 tier 2 so far.
Actually,
and our lead has kind of gone down since they got that Aegis.
The Skywrath Axe is very good together with Earth Spirit as well as Naga though. Like when you have other cores that have reliable lockdown, you're gonna be able to hit the heroes a lot of the time here. Nice TP out here from Brown.
Good attempt. Yeah, the instant roll up into Rolling Thunder, pretty hard to counteract until, I mean, would you say that it's worth getting an Ags on Naga at some point for that?
Yeah, probably.
Is that like a 7th item Ags or an actual, like, inventory?
He's actually eyeing up a KD before it after his aspiration reserve, but I don't know, I'd rather see the Ags, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be quite good. Well, might have to expand his ult here. He's 4-step to the other side. Dodging a dead shot, so won't actually need to use anything here. Go ahead and
the
for 30 seconds.
So might as well just expend that instead.
It's still the green panda that gets like auras and stuff, right? Like the gem.
Yeah.
And Boom showing himself.
They're trying to set it up so they can kill him just as Aegis expires, but that's it's a close now. Tall order.
Has his Octarine core now. I assume Refresher would be next, perhaps.
Currently,
Master.
quick buying up an AC.
Okay.
I don't mind that. It's a ton of physical damage on the enemy team. It's really good for his Naga to have an AC on the team as well, just for overall just pressure. It's good for sieging. I like it more than the refresher. I don't think this is a game where it comes down to just having 2 back-to-back rules, but rather you just want to be consistent with the one that you have and get major impact. So.
Plus there'll be a 3rd Roche at some point, which may or may not have that refresher shard.
Very true. They did kill the 2nd one bottom, so I think it's not that likely that the 3rd one will be top. The early respawn is in 2:18. So that will be around the end of night time. Will be the early respawn. So more than likely the next Roche will be dead before 45.
Gunner showing himself in the mid lane. Tier 2 still standing, but not for long. K1 starting to pound on it. Backdoor protection for now. Kasane slows to a crawl. Defended. Whitemon. Gonna try to help out Bryle. He gets silenced by Gunner to start things out. And Styles Bryle just gonna use his roll up and just away with that.
So having any sort of reliable lockdown that can turn these moments into key kills is how you open high ground. I don't know if they're, like we talked about, just hoping to get a free axe, perhaps, which would then go to Naga. Maybe that's the idea. Because the second row or the third row will be respawning in 1 minute, so they could set it up to get it bottom. Tomato will have to see out here.
BKB down. Now want to take advantage of that right now, or they just want to continue to just have control of this map and then kind of suffocate the likes of TSM so that we can get the next row.
Ari.
Ari, Lotus is off the side. Nice roll on by Gunner. It looks like that'll spell the end of him. All likely to see the Agnes Scepter Mystic Flare being used for the kill. This will use as well, but not really catching anybody in the process. Might have to focus on the tower instead.
That was a really nice connection from Gunner there, just anticipating the force staff, so he rolled ahead of Ari and scored what we call a Joel in 1 right there. So very nice.
Nice. Good meme.
There you go. Memes have grown on you a little bit. You used to be very anti-meme. You've become a little more fun with time. I guess I rubbed off on you a little bit. You became a little more fun and I became a little more cynical. So, you know, great trade-off. I made your life better and you made mine worse. Thank you so much.
That's right. It's a good balance. Yep. Sonic, sticking to the high ground for now. As we can see, there's actually a pretty long Roche timer. But wouldn't be surprised if now doesn't just wait for that. Still 2 tier 2s up for TSM. They did a good job of. And they have the living armor, of course, which makes it a bit of a nuisance to go through. 5-man smoke from TSM. See if they can find anything. Butterfly online for Tomato. He is fully loaded. Show the Manta illusion. The Gunner's going to use that as a means to escape.
Dire scanning for enemies.
Still smoked up, but not finding any meaningful connection here for TSM. But at least they've left their side of the map. It's been a while.
They're getting out of the map. The main thing I'm looking at right now for TSM is actually their support progression. Right? We've been talking a decent amount of the itemization on the side of nouns, but TSM are also slowly approaching some items that could make a big difference. Whitemon almost has 4 staff with his Trian. On the awareness that we're actually starting, Ari is preparing for this to be a long one, eyeing up a 40-minute maelstrom.
Oh, I thought you could say Midas.
Yeah, you were hoping for it, but it seems to be the plan here that this one, they're banking on it going ultra late, essentially, at this point. And, well, Trian with a 4-staff can be very helpful at separating heroes from Naga.
And Disperser is extremely good value this game. The amount of dispels,
yeah,
very cool. And we can see Roche up in less than a minute. So it's going to be a bit of a Roche-off situation, as we'd love to see, as Kasane still has that shield grenade. Half him out right now. Divas is off, but not finding a connection again. Right, looking for the Rolling Thunder potential as Gunner will be moldering away. Both teams knowing how important this next Roche is.
And how important it is to keep rolling.
That's right, keep on rolling. This one will be the Aghanim Scepter if it's kept on the day.
Gunner has a really good positioning here, but they actually sent the room after it. So Rua's travels level 2. So again, they're playing into this whole mindset of our lineup.
Gunner,
okay.
He's going to have to kick Kasane away.
Oh, he will. And this is how nouns are going to set up for Roche. They're going to have move push mid and use this push probably to force them to come back. And I think TSM, the clock is ticking right now. You kind of have to commit for this Roche now. If you're timid about this, you're going to be forced back. You see Nature's Prophet now connecting mid as well. These travels too, Nature's Prophet teleport. It's really threatening.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder from Brian trying to hold on to the K-Point. Really happy she pops his BKB, so now they can focus on Lelis. A little bit easier of a kill. Pops his Ghost Scepter, but there is the song. She's going to give space for Lelis to get away, but you can see in their base they're actually starting to siege now. Fortifications pop on the side of TSM. Still no primal split used. That's when you have to really work your TSM and Brile TPing away already, so that likely means that nouns will back away to be able to get this Roshan for themselves.
Oh, they want more heroes to come back.
Now they get the tier 3, you can see the primal split already used, and now that racks are exposed.
Why did they instantly cancel it there?
That's true.
Was that a misclick?
I don't know. It might cost him though. Is Brile getting a nice swashbuckle on the Gamson? Will die inside his own sprout. Oh, will barely get away. Overgrowth, my goodness. That's a close call. Yeah, that
Wait, how do you misclick that? What's the hotkey for that? I play a lot of Brewmasters, you can tell. Like, so he split and instantly ended.
the shard allows you to instantly end it, right?
Yeah. It's just, it didn't seem like there was a point to ending it early. All of his Burlings were nice and healthy. Anyway, despite the mistake, they get the outcome they were hoping for. I really like this macro play from Nouns. I think he's showing good understanding of the game state here. Forcing TSM to split up. That's the one thing their lineup does very, very poorly.
The Agri Scepter online there for Earth Spirit. That's a crazy one too. We'll see how that works out for Gunnar as he is ridiculously far. Top 3 net worth in the game. How would you rate that, X?
Quite high.
Sometimes it can screw you, right? But, I mean, we're assuming that good usage here.
I mean, I still think it would be better to give it to Naga, and I will stand by that. I'm not sure if there's some sort of key, because usually I would say it's obviously a multi-purpose one. It can be really strong for catching and for saving. I generally think the save is the more reliable way to use this, and it just doesn't feel like you're going to need to save very much, right? You've looked at how this game has progressed in the last 15 minutes, so... But it's definitely, like, in terms of just theoretically how good it is, I think it's very high up for me. But it's also difficult to use. So.
Remember that used to be part of his base kit? The Primal Split from Boo.
Here it comes.
Now that the Earth Panda is there,
he didn't cancel it.
As long as it doesn't cancel it, a lot of damage will be done to the barracks. But I have to say, Tomato being there does clean it up relatively fast.
They definitely have good heroes for killing the Brew Split, and they have living armor, which is a pretty big deal here, actually.
That's true.
If the strategy for Nouns is going to just be chipping away at buildings for the next 15 minutes, at some point you're going to have to commit unless you can bring it down with just the Brew Split.
That's with the 1200 Ruling Health talent at 20 as well. Yeah. He's about to hit 25 now.
Yeah, and he has... Oh, actually, he doesn't have the AC yet. That's going to be a pretty big help. Getting that armor. Almost complete, I do believe.
Yeah.
Actually complete, I do believe.
I do believe you are correct.
And level 25, so...
K1. Get that shot, but people walk away as illusions. Just a constant nuisance on the map for TSM. As Kasane, he's starting to run out of room in his inventory. He's going for a Radiance, I believe. There's White Monk getting gone on by the Brew. Not able to get it pulled out quite yet. He's silent. Not able to apply some Brew. He doesn't enough to actually take him out. Getting onto the other side and finally gets off his ult. And that is a lift onto the Brewmaster. As you can see, the kick in. Tomato in a lot of trouble. Surrounded pops the BKB. Trying to focus now on the Brewlings. None of them will die quite yet. Uses the Eclipse finally. Most of the focus now on the Yansen who actually gets away. And now the Song of Siren from K1. Holding everybody in place. Trying to actually the first to fall is Tomato. Trying to focus down Blue. He will somehow live the Sprout. Just continue to be a thorn in the side of TSM. Who's already lost 2, including the likes of Bryle. Lots of close range being applied to the Naga Science. Gunnar getting a double kill for now. Rolling onto Tomato. Lots of damage being applied. He's going to get the lockdown on him. And likely will fall as well. A triple kill for Gunnar as K1 doing his thing against the Bristle. Just keeping him consistently rooted. I mean, this is a very frustrating game for Kasane. He can't do much because he is the last remaining member of TSM. He's going to get kicked as a stone form. Do they even have the damage at this point to deal with them? Well, they might just walk back to base the old-fashioned way to K1. Another kick back. Kasane, I love the milling being by Boo in the meantime. Just keep the Bristle back away from his base. Enough to take out all their barracks as a result. Another roll in. Most annoying. If you're a Bristle, can he get back to his base? They're just ignoring him. He's doing absolutely nothing. Boom! Has the Primal Split available again, and now we'll focus down the second set of racks. Another lift up onto the Bristle back. Can you even play Dota this game? Kasane feels so bad for him. 2 sets of racks now. Will be secured for the signs of Nouns. Still, no Luna in sight for 40 seconds. Bristleback is not a hero in this fight.
It was really funny to see, you know, the cogs turning in the K1. He's like fighting the Bristle for 20 seconds. He's like, alright, whatever. And he just runs away from a 5v1 to start pushing the base.
Bristleback things.
I mean, just Bristleback things. And again, it's really showing why they value the Brewmaster in this this game. I think Moo has had insane impact on this hero. Just effectively negating Kasane. And yeah, he's bought status resistance, which at least helps, but he's out of the fight for about half of it.
I mean, do you have to bite the bullet and go for the BK?
I just don't think it really matters, because can you get enough done in those 9 seconds?
Probably.
I don't think so. So it's just strategically a little bit of a checkmate here for Kasane. I don't think there is a good item build to solve this problem. It kind of has to come from his teammates.
We have the Rolling Thunder. Can they actually lock down Moo? There's the flash, and that's the 25 pounds he put along with the... He actually doesn't have Axe yet. Actually, he didn't take the talent. What am I talking about? Just ignore me. That was a lot of damage from the...
Some of the time. Well, if he had taken the 25 pound, it would have been the same amount of damage.
That's true.
As a matter of fact, your call about him dealing a lot of damage was more true because he took the other talent that actually does give damage.
That's right, he did damage one way or another, which is technically correct, as he liked to attest to being a fan of. Kamado forced to just defend his base from afar, can't really leave it. The versatile back kill was nice, as I think he's going to be able to listen in to a previous fight here.
Oh man, can this guy even die? Surely he can die, guys. I mean, it's all you, Gunner. I'm gonna launch. I can stun him soon. What do you want me to do? Just kick him back. Kick him back and I can sprout him. Kick him back and I can sprout him. Oh, fuck this guy.
Alright, that's good. I mean, that's essentially what we said in the commentary as well. They can't kill him, so just ignore him. Just kite him. And that's good to hear that they can have a conversation like that. He's still dumbfounded during a match at TI.
They came to the same conclusion that we did with slightly different lingo, but, you know, it was the right idea. Just leave him alone.
Well, the brew kill was good for TSM, but they're going to do a lot more of that because, I mean, Moo has his buyback still.
Looks like they didn't recognize the fact that Moo had a gem, nor did Moo, because he's not sending his courier for it either. So everybody just forgot this exists.
They were just so excited by killing him. I can't blame them for that. Muerta, TPing. We'll ignore the gem. More important things to do.
Did he actually TP next to it and not pick it up?
I don't think it was quite envisioned, but yeah, okay. Close enough.
Well, this is effectively working as a ward for nouns right now. That's kind of good.
Yeah, true.
And that little bit of
As TSM have actually ventured off to...
Oh, he saw it now. He's like, he was looking at his man. He was like, why do we have this shit here? Oh, right. I had the gem.
He just assumed they picked it up.
Maybe you're scared of animals.
Gunner not
on the hunt.
Yeah, Gunner wants to find somebody. Muerta popping the ult, getting a nice silence. TSM on the other side of the cliff here, but it's not going to matter for Ari. He dies straight up, so that's a 5v4 now. Bristle back. Yep, he's stuck inside a Sprout. We'll just assume for the rest of this fight that he will not be taking any damage and will not be dying as well. Although, Nouns perhaps wanting to actually kill him this time? No. They remember the previous fight. Still a tier 2 in the bot lane. And the gem is still there indeed. Kasane, a point in talking about this right now. Okay, Yamsen making his presence known. They're actually doing quite a bit of damage this time. Why not this in time? The Rolling Thunder coming in as well. And Bristle back in again. And now the song being used in more defensive than anything. He's going to pop the BKB as well. SK1, trial. Rolling Thunder has now ended, trying to do as much damage to the Lilies as he can, but they're still going to survive. Kamado trying to TP out. He will be able to get away with a sliver of HP. And guess what? Kasane's still very healthy. No, they finally break him. Silver Edge on the
Kamado died in base to Bloodthorn.
The position 5 Silver Edge is all they needed.
Yeah.
Now they have the answers. And with that, now with a 30k lead and in prime position to take game number 1 as we're 52 minutes in now.
Yeah, they're going to have to burn both core buybacks to not get Mega in here, and they will do that eventually as this bottom wave is coming in about 10 seconds. And the Radiant lineup pretty quick at pushing. The Brewmaster ulti will be up to 20. As a matter of fact, they're looking for a little bit of an extra here. Moo as well as Lelis pounding the Muerta.
Yeah, that's a buyback onto the Bristle. He dies here. Of course, he hasn't really made his way over quite yet as Muerta getting chased down inside the Sprout. Moo trying to find an angle, and he will. The Thunderclap and the beat down. Wow. Does have his rolling thunder up now. Trying to go on top of Gunner, but he can just roll away with such a low cooldown on that spell. And that's a big ult down now for TSM. And boom. Still has his rolling thunder available. They just need their position 5 in the area to right-click Kasane once, and Pats can kill him. The sheep is going to be popped. There's fortification like the last one TSM. It's Tomato up in 7 seconds. Gunner? Yeah, just kick it to the other side, focus on the buildings. Likely will be able to secure themselves mega creeps now in this game number 1. And they will do just that. As Kasane can only look on. Doesn't even maybe get on the Storm Panda.
Alright.
Back to defending they go.
So here's the thing, you've got Megas, but the enemy team is really good at defending Megas, so this game is not over yet. It's obviously extremely nouns favored, and it would take quite the catastrophe for them to lose the game, but the question is how long is it going to take them to win, because sieging into this, as we talked about, it's not that easy. You can send Naga Illusions, you can send Bruce Split, you can send whatever you want, but if the Bristle and Luna get to stand their ground and just hit stuff, they can overpower it relatively quickly.
Well, if they give the Aghanim Scepter here to Mr. Moon, they can have that Earth Panda all the time.
True.
That's pretty good.
A nice little companion, but well, when it dies, he doesn't have it.
That's true. And it will like to die. Smoke now from TSM, but they're too late for the road. And Gunner will take the Aegis, move with the cheese, and the Aghanim Scepter as well. Now they have to worry about either a Storm Panda or whatever panda he chooses to use. At all times to be up.
Alright, so they chose to give the Ags over to Brew over Naga, so again.
Okay, one was all alone for a little bit there. Popped the BKB and Gunner trying to kick it away. Really deep to come out on the bottom. Popped the BKB. Mystic Flash doing a little damage to that BKB, but Gunner and company are going to turn him to stone again. No one half HP though, as Gunner trying to get to the other side of these trees to sprout onto the bristleback and move. Gonna try to go on top of the buildings now instead. Now they have the break on Kasane, but there's the overrun from Whitemon keeping him in place. But the cheese actually healing up the Earth Spirit to a high degree. And continuing just to hit buildings while the Song of the Siren keeps TSM in place. They're trying to heal it up with the living armor. There's the Mystic Flare again being used. And guess who's still healthy? It's the Bristleback. Gunner now rolling out to the other side. Gets the sword perpetually. Deadshot's gonna connect as well, but it looks like he might be able to walk away. And somehow no deaths in this engagement, other than one tier 4 tower.
And we have to say goodbye to 1 cheese. Unfortunately, Gunner has 2nd cheese. So I would have loved to see him stack up a 3rd. I feel like that's a true rare spawn in Dota. I don't think we often see 3 cheeses on the same hero, but actually did end up using one of them there, so very sad. Just only for anything fans out there. Considering you can make block of cheese out of the... How many lotuses are there? Oh, there's a lot of lotuses. What a shocker.
Yeah, why bother though?
What if you could combine 3 cheeses into like giga cheese?
And what does that do for you?
It's just a very big cheese.
The visual only, I see. Cosmetic. Sounds good to me. What if the cheese is so big it just turns you lactose intolerant? And that's an aura around you.
So that's another comeback mechanic for the losing
team. Yeah, it's a bad... That's correct.
You have the best ideas.
They're hoarding too much net worth on their side, so it should punish them. Nobody wants to see that. It's 50k lead for now.
Is that the biggest in this event?
Lotto. Is he going to turn into stone again? Gunner looking for the potential connection. Here he's going to get stuff to pop his BKB. Rolling Thunder not going to be doing too much as a result. Magnetize is there. Remember, this is under snow now with that 25 count. They still continue out of the tier 4 tower. Here's the Mystic Flare. So much damage inside. Tomato trying to stay alive. A nice overthrow. This is enough to take out the Earth Spirit. Either way, he has the Aegis. Life number 1 down. Move. Now focusing all his effort onto that Luna. Will drop him, but that is just effectively the buyback now. As the Aegis is fully exposed, they can just right-click that to their heart's content. Well, the Aegis will likely come out here. Anymon is Tomato getting extremely low. It's going to be a dieback for him. And they can't hold this any longer for TSM. So now will take game number 1 in this best of 3 Cinderella.
Yep.
And what a display it was.
They're unstoppable.
Eventually they will hit that Aegis, and the game will end, and there we go.
They were waiting for everyone from TSM to type GG. They wanted to drag out every excruciating extra second of this victory